Hi, welcome to Behind the Storyboard. Today I'm joined by the lovely Sugarcub. So why don't you give a little bit of info about what kind of work you do?
I am a YouTuber. I make animations and animated music videos, short films that are animated. That's kind of the scene that I do. I also, on the side, to kind of support myself, do freelance creative work um, like making color palettes for different studios.
Very nice. So to start off, why don't you get a little bit into your background? Like, what first inspired you to get into art?
I think I've always been into art, really. It's probably in the bloodline, you know. That's something I hear a lot that like when one of your parents is into art, you'll be into it or something like that.
Hmm.
But it's not always the case, you know. I've heard of families that are all doctors, and then there's the one artist.
Yeah.
But yeah, ever since I was young, really, I've always had a love for art. But if I had to pin it down to a very specific like moment that was life changing or something, I have to say that it was like first or second grade, and I was in this after school program. And when I was at this age, I didn't really have many friends, but there was this after school program that I attended, and there was a group project that we had to do where we drew like I don't know what it was. I think it's weird because it was in Europe, but I think we had to draw Indians or pilgrims or something. But I was like, geez, I'm working with this group of boys that are troublemakers, you know. So I was like, okay, well, I'll do my thing, and I drew whatever, and everybody gathered around me and were like, wow, yours like really really good, you know. And then everyone clapped. Yeah, not everyone clapped, but you know, in general, everyone was impressed, and I was like, I really like doing this. It was the first time that people acknowledged that I had a talent for something, and I think that had an impact on me wanting to pursue art further.
Hmm. Nice. Okay. Do you think there are any particular shows that might have influenced your art?
I think a lot of people say that my art is very anime. I would disagree with that statement. I would not like to think that, honestly. But for what influenced my style, thinking here, thinking, because it's always changing. I That's the thing I love when I make animations is I love creating new styles. I don't like to be pinned down to one in specific. Um, I think as far as inspirations go, I can't think of anything like super far back, but when I think that like growing up, it was definitely anime in the earlier ages that influenced my art style.
Hmm.
So I watched Naruto when I was 7. They had it on TV. I'd watch it with my brother, you know. So it was definitely anime at first,
Okay.
but the further I grew up, I had an appreciation for cartoons, but there wasn't one specific one that made me think, oh, that's the thing that makes me want to change my art style. I think it's more so like the artists that are around me rather than one specific show.
Gotcha. Okay. If you have one, what is or was your routine for practicing art?
Um, well, now I go to art college, so that helps a lot because I've always been, I think, pretty bad at self discipline without having some sort of academics at stake. So I guess as far as routines go, it's holding something up that like I could um, something detrimental would happen if I didn't do something right. So academics definitely helped me, like if I was doing something that had stakes. Besides that, I don't know. I just got into art and animation at a really young age. So I really liked exploring it. I wanted to become better at it. I don't think I had any specific any specific regiment, but I will say that because I started animation so early on, that it's kind of like drawing very regularly because you have to finish a short animation or something, and you have to draw something over and over again. So in a way, it's helping you prepare for the future.
Hmm. Cool. So about the people around you, how do the people around you feel about you pursuing a career in art? Are they supportive, and do you think their opinion has maybe hindered you or only pushed you to work harder?
Work harder, I think. Like I said, when I was younger, people really liked what I made, so I took that to heart and I continued on, even though I don't feel like, there's certain artists out there, other people who are told they have a certain talent, a gift, and they're told that so often that it sort of holds them back. I don't feel like I was ever told it too much. I just uh, started there. My parents, I once, I eventually told them, yeah, I'd like to pursue art, and I had a strong mind about it. So even though at first their point of view was more so, really, is that really are you gonna start or anything? I think, I was adamant about it. I said, no, I can survive because there is a market for it, and a stable market at that instead of just freelance. I can do it. And they said, okay, that sounds reasonable. Um, my friends have always supported me, even in high school. I have a lot of friends, and I never really had artist friends. Honestly, they were very everywhere. I had a friend who sang and who was going into science, and they were all very supportive of me. And then art school, everyone's supportive of everyone. So that's how I feel about it.
Nice. Last bit about background. Your YouTube channel was started in July 26th in 2014, so quite a long time, I would say. How do you personally
Mm-hmm.
feel you've grown from that point until now?
In 2014, I didn't know what I wanted to do with a YouTube channel at all. I started by making gaming videos. I felt like I had a lot of paths that I could pursue, and I just didn't know which one I wanted to do because at the time I was a bit more of a gamer compared to now where I don't really game as much. Um, so I had that. There were already things happening on YouTube with that were art related. So I didn't really know what I wanted to pursue at that time. But I took a crack at everything really. I did a few vlogs. I made a few gaming videos. But then eventually I figured out. Somebody once said, consistency in video uploading is good. So I took all of my flip notes that I made before that, and I've consistently uploaded them, and I think I got my first 1,000 subscribers from that. And from there, I started seeing a sort of a trend with musicals and animatics. So I took the plunge there. Then um, then I think I got very spiteful almost because there was the animation meme community that was happening, and I really didn't like the direction it was taking. I felt like there was a more creative way to go about it, so I took a crack at it. Took 5 months out of my high school life and made a music video, and people really liked it. And I've now it has over 1 million views. Um, and it's really interesting because for a while I was on this path where I thought, well, maybe I could make YouTube a career, right? But I don't really necessarily think people have to be in that mindset. And I'm definitely, I think, moving away from that mindset now. So for a while there, I was going more at it, and the more I tried to please other people, I found myself not really liking what I made. So at this point, I still want to upload animations to YouTube, but I don't want them to be part of a trend, even though that is something that would give me more views. I want to make something that makes me happy, and that's currently music videos and short animations.
Nice. Super glad to hear about that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so why don't we move on to more stuff about the present? Like, what do you do when you get a case of artist block?
Uh, it's very interesting because I feel like don't I don't get a lot of them, honestly. It's interesting, I think, because it's animation. I wouldn't equate to normal art making. I think though I do usually put off making animations after I've uploaded one. I'll take a break. Although I think that immediately after uploading, I'm already in the mindset to make a new one, but I'll um I'll end up not doing anything anyway for a while. Um, but as far as advice goes for other people, it's I think that the reason people will get artist block is because they're working too much on it. At least that's my perspective. I have a lot of variety in my day. I will do a lot of things that are not related to my main thing. I am also very I tend to get distracted a lot, so it helps me having a lot of different passions. So my regular day might look like working on a YouTube video and then directing a short film and then working on color palettes. Now I know all these things are art related, but they're different enough where it's okay. On the other hand, sometimes that
Diversity.
might not be the case. Sorry?
Oh, I was gonna say, so you feel like diversity is kind of how you tend to stay away from art block.
Yeah, I don't get it very often.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
awesome. Good to know. What do you recommend for people who are interested into getting the same field of art as you? Is there anything you wish you were told when you first started or wish you knew?
Could you specify what field of art that is?
So I would say like animation or an animator on
Okay.
YouTube specifically.
Getting into it. Okay. Um, I would say make. Uh, I think like look at what the trends are. I think that when you're just starting off, it's more important than ever to really catch whatever bandwagon you can and take your own spin on it. At least that's how I got into it. So, look whatever is trending at the time and do it your own way. You don't want to do it how everyone else is doing it because then you're just one out of many. You want to do it your own way. And then keep at it. Be consistent with what you're making. So do that however you'd like. Sometimes it might be a quality that's not what you're satisfied with, but you have to take into consideration that you're one person who's trying to make consistent videos if you want to grow on YouTube. And because it is YouTube, you're not going to find yourself having TV production material, and you're just going to have to learn a way to manage that. But yeah, it's mostly just figuring out what the trends are within the art community on YouTube, and then putting your own spin on it. Uniqueness is key, and just keep at it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Is there anything else you wish you knew or you were told when you first started though?
When I was first told, I think that what I was first told was definitely that was just be consistent. Although, I think that the most successful YouTube channels on YouTube right now are the ones with longer videos, which is very tough with the field of animation. But as somebody who has seen it, if you ever make enough videos that are the same content, and you compile them, together, even if you've uploaded them all before, then that will definitely work too. There's Ross Bollinger, who's the creator of Pencilmation, and all of the Pencilmation videos are 20 minutes or longer, and it really helps them get lots of views. And you just gotta keep into consideration also that YouTube doesn't care how many views you get. It really is about the time. But just like take what you can from that, because a lot of animators can't do anything with that, but there are ways around it, like compiling those older videos together, making a video with a longer length. um that can help as well.
Okay. What is something you believe you do really well in animation, and one thing you think that needs improvement?
Like in general, in like when making animations or animations on YouTube.
I would say in general for making animations.
Okay, let's think. I think I don't know, I like everything really, but I think my strong suit would be the ideas maybe. I really like the ideas that I create for films, for short films and whatnot. This is less so to do with my more comedy like videos, but I enjoy coming up with the story of it, coming up with the character designs. Um, I also, yeah, I think I like that. What I think is weaker, I'm really bad at cleaning up. I remember at one point I tried to clean something up for like a more animated video of mine, and I realized, cleaning up is the worst. I hate it so much. I'm not good. Like, that was the point where I decided I'm never gonna clean up anything, and people are just gonna have to deal with it. It just takes a really long time. It's something that I just had to get rid of.
Okay, that's really good to know. Where do you think new artists and animators make the most mistakes when first trying to get into the field?
They think that they don't need to know how to draw. I think that's the big one. Personally, as somebody who goes to art school and is surrounded by animators, that's the thing I think is people's biggest downfall. There are certain cases where I feel like there's really good artists and they're not good at animating, but a lot of the time it really is the first. You just have to, I feel like sometimes, and specifically, like even more so if you're like a 3D animator, they think they don't need to know how to draw to become it. And it's not the case, because you need to know how the body works, and like just like try to, you're always learning how to draw forever. Not even Picasso is, uh, or while he lived, would ever have been good enough. Just because everyone's constantly learning. There's no peak to it. You just have to keep at it. And I would just start with just drawing more people, more observational art. Just keep a sketchbook with you. The more observational art or life drawings you make, even if you don't have the resources to go to life drawing classes, doing it online, do whatever you can to upon that, especially gestural art, because that is the building blocks to anything that an animator makes. But I think that's the biggest mistake that I see with animators.
Okay, everyone out there, you hear this. Be sure you learn how to draw. Okay. I know you were working on a large project for Something Else YT as a head animator for his song. Could you
Mhm.
explain your experience seeing an animation you worked on getting so popular, having over 34 million views?
Uh, um, made me really happy. I also felt a little jealous because I love being in the limelight. I love being the center of attention. So I think that's like it's the one thing that you kind of like have to learn to adjust to if you're full of yourself like me, is that people are going to really appreciate the work, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they know that you're the one behind it. There's a lot of people who thought something else. YT animated that whole thing. You know, they're younger though, so what can you say? What can you even blame them? Yeah, it's very you know, I like it because I can put that on my resume. I can be like, look at this, I did this. And it was fun because I feel like there were only, for that project there were only 3 to 4 animators working on it. And I felt like I was leading the team really with where we wanted to go with the direction of the whole thing. We were basically given free range to do anything we wanted. Adam was just like, yeah, go for it, do whatever, I don't care. So we were like, okay, what would be a good music video for this? So we were really, you know, it was very much so our baby. And there's a lot of people who watch it and are very happy for Adam. A lot of people who don't realize the work that goes behind it, but I don't think it's really too much of a drawback. You know, I'm still happy because people watch it and they love it, and maybe it'll make them want to pursue something of their own, and that's really the goal for me, is to inspire other people.
I know you touched on it a little bit, but how did it feel to work on a team rather than by yourself? You worked with the people writing the songs because you had to animate it. You had to work with other animators, all those other people. How did it feel? What was it like?
Let me think. I guess it was my first team project. I'm thinking about it now, you know. And it was a small team, which I think is good because it helped me adjust to the environment. It's different, and I think that like even after finishing that project, I had to come to terms with that. It's not necessarily like, you know, nobody's fighting with anyone. You're just trying to organize things. But it's definitely like not everything's in your hands, and if you're a control freak, that doesn't help. Sometimes that's me. I can be a little bit of a control freak. But in general, it was a really good environment. Sometimes it was frustrating because in a group environment, you depend on other people, and when it's online, it's people could stop helping on something, and you couldn't do anything about it. You couldn't retrieve whatever they didn't do. I guess like a little bit of that sort of thing happened, but it's okay because the whole project goes by a lot faster. It's good to work on a team. A lot of the time, you know, with good communication skills, people will love to do anything together.
Nice, good to know. I'm sure it was an interesting experience.
Yeah. After after I finished that, you know, I've gone on to do more projects after that, and sometimes I join a project and their organizational, like whatever system they were using to organize everything would be disgusting, and I'd be like, guys, I don't want to be rude here or anything, but this has to be fixed.
Mm-hmm. If my information is correct, you're currently working on a story animation project called Sugar and Sushi. Could you please describe your current involvement in the project and how it's coming along?
Sugar and Sushi is finished. That one isn't
Ah,
going to be showing up anytime soon. It was a project that I worked on for my senior project in high school. I have like a storyboard of it, but I don't think it was at a time where my organizational skills were very bad. I had to use different programs, so it would be very hard for me to get it all done. but I am working on a different project right now.
Really? Could you maybe tell, without telling too much, could you tell us a little bit about that current one that you have?
It is my passion project. I love it so much. You know, if it's what I would consider. There's a word for it, and Magnum Opus. It's my Magnum Opus. I love it so much. And to give you a little taste of what it's it's about a wizard who has left his hometown and helps people, helps children who cry. And one day, an old schoolmate runs into him with a mission to save the world.
Wow. Okay. Just curious, because I believe I might have found this. Did you ever post this on a second channel? And does the wizard have pink hair?
Yeah, pink, red. It tends. I don't know. We don't have a specific. But yes, pink or red.
I believe you posted it on a second channel, if I'm correct.
I do have a second channel. I do wonder. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know.
I believe I was checking through the YouTube pages, and I came across another one of your channels with one of your very old icons, and it was a very short clip about the intro.
Yes. Seeing it here now. Yes, that is the character. That was for one of my classes for college, and if it's not spoiling too much, then yeah, I'll upload it. I don't care.
Okay.
But yes, that is him. It's more of a Ghibli style than the style I'm going for, but we had to pick a style to do for it. So there, yeah.
Very cool. So why don't we get to some of the ending questions, such as what are your plans for the future, and what are you doing to achieve these goals?
Plans for the future. Currently, I'm directing that. It's called The Apothecary and Acolyte. So me and a band of college students and some online friends are working together to create that. We're hoping to have a promotional video out sometime. I don't know. I don't want to give dates here, but 2020. Let's say that. I would like to think that early 2020, but I've got so many vacations coming up and traveling a lot, so don't know. But hopefully a promotional video for that. I've also started coming up with ideas for a short film that is related to it in a way. So those are things that are happening in the future. Also going to college, so just trying to finish that up. Do you want further into the future? I don't know how far we're talking.
Yeah, actually, like what are your plans overall once you finish your degree in college?
I don't know. Yeah, so I think that I don't think I'll ever kill off my channel or anything. I'll probably keep posting anything that I make on there, but it's definitely probably going to stop being for popularity's sake and more so just so I have a library of content. Might start making vlogs, more artsy vlogs, sort of like Mew Tripled. I don't know about that yet though. And then so college happens, I graduate that, and then I don't really. I really love to travel, so I think that my plans might be something like try and get into a really good studio, try really, really hard, do my best, devote myself to it, and hopefully move wherever I need to move to pursue that. I think that California is the leader of animation in America, so even though I'll be really sad about it because I'm not really a fan of California. I'd move there to get my name in and whatnot. And then wherever, because animation is very contract. So that means that you'll be on with a studio for a year, 3 years, or something like that, and then you're out again, and you're looking for new work. and that's very much so the case for most animation studios, unless you get picked up by like Pixar or something. But the downside of that is you'll probably never get a higher position in those jobs. Um, but I'd really like to travel. I would like to go to graduate school at forgive me because I don't know how to pronounce it, but Goblins. I'm just gonna say it the American way, which is a French animation school. Would love to go there. And I don't know. I think at the end of it all, when I'm about to decompose, uh,
That's one way of
I
putting it.
think I'd like to make my own studio, if I ever be able to, or make my own show out of the Apothecary and Acolyte, maybe get it picked up. I don't know. And go wherever that might take me, you know. But I think I would like to have that happen somewhere in Europe. I'm from Europe originally. I grew up there, so it'd be cool. And plus, it's France is like the leader of 2D animations. There's that, and I'm a big fan of it.
Nice. So, what are some socials people can find you on, and how can they support you?
I've got my main YouTube channel, Sugarcub. I've got my second channel, Sugar Scrub, where I post more less polished works there. I've got my Twitter, Hi Sugarcub. My Instagram, Sugarcubster, like Trickster, you know. They're all different names because people keep taking Sugarcub, okay? So you gotta deal with it. I think I post the most on Twitter, but it's like stupid, so I'm fine with nobody following. I think that like for my most official content, YouTube, you know. I've got a Tumblr too, but don't follow it. I just reblog things. But if you really like reblogs, I've got some highly curated content on there. Just Sugarcub. Yeah, I think that's all my socials. I've also got a Discord channel. A Discord server. You can find that through my YouTube. Most of anything of my socials is on my main YouTube channel. You can find my Discord on there, PayPal, any other social media.
Nice. If I'm correct, you also have a Crowdmade website with merchandise that you can buy.
Yes! Oh my god, I'm the worst. I don't even. Yes, I have a Crowdmade. We just started working together. It's great. Got some awesome content on there. Because I've just finished the Polaroid. Or sorry, not Polaroid. The Ghost animation video for Halloween. We have a bunch of merch related to that, which is Polaroid pictures. That's the design of it. We've also got embroidered signatures, which are my favorite, I think. We've got hats and whatnot. I think those are great. Great material that you can just wear. It's great.
Absolutely. In fact, I was even planning on buying one of the hats very soon.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
That'd be great.
I'll be sure to send a picture.
Also, I think we're going to be having a sale on items for Black Friday, like the week of Black Friday, and then we are currently the Polaroid t-shirts are limited time, so after this month is over, it is Vamoosh, but everything else is still.
Very nice. Everyone, be sure to keep that in mind. Write it down on your
Yeah.
calendars.
T-shirts are very cool. Go buy one.
Mm-hmm. Make sure you beg your mom for spending money.
Oh yeah, that's what I tell my fans. I'm like, go get your mom's credit card.
Mm-hmm.
Said that to somebody, and they were like, I don't have a mom. It doesn't work that way. Okay.
Okay. Are there any last bits of advice you would like to share for artists getting into the field?
Sometimes it's hard to figure out what you want to do. And here I thought, you know, going into college that I knew what I wanted to do. I was like, 2D animation, man. Ooh, got it. You know, how much more specific do you need to get? Except you can still get more specific. And it just keeps going. But just like, I feel like a lot of artists don't know where they want to go with that, and experiment in the field and figure out what makes you the most passionate, the most happy, even if sometimes it makes you angry. That's anything in life. And just go.
Cool. Well, again, I'd like to thank you for your time. I'm sure every aspiring artist and animator appreciates it. It was really great to have you. The links to her channel and socials will be in the description below. Be sure to stay tuned for next time. Bye bye.
Bye bye.